Hello, everyone. Welcome back again in our data analysis project. So, in our first part, what we did, we cleaned our data. We checked the validity of our data if there is any inconsistent data or is there any irrelevant data there. And then we deleted those columns as well, which we didn't want for our analysis. And we also checked if there is any null value or any duplicacy in the data set. So today, what I am going to do, first I will tell you how to save your file in a new file, and then we will do some manipulation in the data as well. Manipulation means we'll add some columns that within our mathematical formulas, or we will uh, add columns on the basis of our selected data, and then we will analyze it. So first, here, when you want to save your file, because you don't want to clean your raw data again and again. So after cleaning everything, what you want to do, you want to save your cleaned or updated file in a new CSV file or Excel file, in whatever format you like to work. So here I'm saving my Excel file into CSV file. So that I will use my data frame. Here my data frame name is df underscore cust. It's a customer file that I'm saving in CSV. So what I will use dot to CSV, to underscore CSV, and then I will give the name of my file or the path. If you want to save a file in a particular folder, then you will give the name of the folder and then backslash and then the file name, as we do when we want to read our file from a folder. So here I'm using Colab because I want to show you if I'm saving my file and it's you can see it in the folder as well. So here I have run this. I'm saving my file, that is customer.csv. It's a new name. And you can see here it has appeared customer.csv. That means my updated cleaned file is saved as customer.csv. So I don't need to read customer data set Excel file again and again and to clean it again. So now I'm reading it again with the same method, pd dot read, because it's a CSV file. So we write read CSV, and then because previously it was saved in the folder, so that's why that had the name files. So that's why it's written here files backslash and the file name. But here it is in the same folder where I'm working right now. So that's why I don't need to give the path. I just give file name there. So here pd.readcsv and the file name. And I'm saving it in a data frame that is df. Now you know what head function do. It gives you first 5 rows of the data frame. And here we can see that index is saved as unnamed here, and we don't need that column. So what we will do here, we'll drop that column with drop method, column name access equals to 1, because we want to drop the column, not rows. If you want to drop row, then you will say access equals to 0 and in place true to make that change permanent. And then if you see again first 5 rows, you can see that unnamed 0, the first column has been deleted. I hope you understand it. If there is any confusion or any doubt about how to delete a column or how you did it, please write me in the comment box and I will explain you with more examples so it may become easier for you to understand. And now we will do the manipulation part. So first we want to see our data frame, what it is with info method. So it will give you basic information about data frame. And here we can see our column names, and it doesn't have any null value because all column has same values in it, and these are the types. And here we can see that date of birth is an object data type, but we want it to be a date time. So what we'll do, we'll change it with pandas method to date time. So we'll use pd dot to date time and we'll change the date of birth. We are saving it in the same column name because we are changing just the data type, not the column itself. So if we run again the info about data frame, and you can see the data type of date of birth has been changed to date time. Why we did that? Because we want to calculate age from our date of birth. So here what we are doing, we are using lambda function. Whenever we use function, we use apply method in our pandas or with our data frame. If you haven't watched our previous videos where I have explained all these things, please go to the playlist. The link is in the description box and watch those videos so you can understand all these functions and methods that we are using here perfectly. So here we use dot apply method, and in lambda function what I'm doing here, I'm iterating each value or each row from our column date of birth. And here I'm generating pd.datetime.now dot year. That means current year I'm generating, and I'm subtracting it with the year that is in the date of birth to get the age. So I'm not calculating the whole date, I'm just using year to calculate the age. So it will give you a basic idea basically. And when you run your first 5 rows to check if the age column has been generated with the right figure, you can see here, yes, the age column has been created and it has age of every customer. Right. Now we want to see if what kind of age distribution or gap is there in our age column by value count method. And here we can see that there is age 44, 45, 48, and so on. And here we can see one more thing, that there is an age also above 100 here, that is 179. And I think that's an outlier because uh, we don't want a customer that is above 100 years. You don't know if that customer is exist or he is dead already. And if not also, but that customer will not purchase a bike from us if you see the age. Or there can be many factors, maybe he's a very old customer that come in the database, or you can say that by mistake that person wrote his or her age wrong, but it's still, it's just one customer. So what we can do, we can drop our customer that has age above 100, and then we use in place true because again we are, we want that change to be permanent. And now we are also dropping our column date of birth because we got customer's age, so we don't need it, we are not going to use date of birth. So we'll run it. And now what we are doing here, we are creating bins, 10 bins. So that means we are dividing our age column into 10 parts with the age range. So here with the cut method we are dividing it, and in our bin section we are showing giving it a figure like how many parts or how many with how much number we want to divide it. So here you can say we want 10 separate age range where our customer falls according to the age. So if we run it, we are creating a new column age range. And now here I will show you how to merge two files into one data frame. We are reading one more file, that is a CSV file, customer transaction, that's here. We are reading it with, because it's a CSV file, we are using read CSV. And here I have given data frame name df1, so it don't clash with the previous one. We'll see our first 5 rows here, and here you can see again it's uh, an extra index column with unnamed that we are going to drop here again. And here we are doing here now, we are merging our file customers and transaction into one. So here I have created a new data frame, merge customer transaction cust trans. Try to give your object name as you can understand it, what you are doing in it, what kind of data is there inside. Don't give just a random name to your data frames, so it won't become confusing when someone else is also reading your file or your code. So here I'm merging df.merge df1, so both files I'm merging, df1 and df. And on what basis I'm merging on customer id, so both file has a column customer id, so it's matching its ids and then it's merging together. If you want to run first 5 rows, you can see here that it's on the customer ids here, gender, and then you can see all the transaction and details are there, right? So both the files has merged. Now if you want to check the first data frame shape, it was 3912 with 12 columns. If you check second data frame, it has more rows and more columns, and when it merged, you can see it's now 25 columns and 19,354 rows. Now we are checking if there is any null value there. No, there is no null values. We'll also check if there any duplicate is there. So what we'll do, we'll copy paste it here to make it fast. But what we will do here, so we'll write here duplicate it, and if we run, we can see there is no duplicate rows in there. And now what we are going to do, we are changing, we are checking first the information about our data frame, new data frame. And here in this data frame, you can see that transaction date is object again. So what we will do, we'll change our transaction date data type to date time as we did before with date of birth. And then we'll extract month from there and create a new column, month. Now comes the visualization part. And in that visualization part, what we are going to do, first we are checking our gender. So we are using group by method where we are targeting our gender. So it will extract all the data on the gender basis, and then it will count how many transaction is there. So here you can write transaction id, but I'm counting gender itself. So what it will do, how many times f is coming, how many times m is coming, and it will give us a count. If you want to see what gender is coming, when you see it, you can see it's 9,921 counts. So that means there are this many transactions by females is done, and here 9,433 transactions by males are done. So if you want to visualize it, first we need to import our visualizing libraries, that is matplotlib.pyplot as plt, seaborn as sns, and I'm using also plotly to show you the difference between these three, among these three. So if you run this and then you want to generate according to the gender basis your transaction, so I'm using bar method, you can see clearly that females has more transaction than males, though the difference is not much, but still females are buying more bikes than males. Here, this we I used plt.bar, so that means I used only matplotlib here, where I have to show here plt.show as well. If I don't do it, it will not show me the plot. But with SNS, you don't need to write show. You can just generate it, and the difference is here you will get colors automatically, color difference. So you can clearly see that this is female and this is male by color difference. So that is the additional feature with matplotlib you will get. You can also use matplotlib functions by for using for giving it a title or for giving it a particular name to your x axis, y axis. So basically, Seaborn is a visualizing tool that can be associated with Matplotlib. Here I'm using Plotly here because Plotly I called it as px here, plotly.express. So I'm using px.bar. Here you give your data frame first, which data frame you are using, and then x-axis, y-axis, and you say fig.show. When you do it, you will get a data frame, a plot here that is interactive. Why it's interactive? Because when you touch it, it will show you the figure as well, like gender female, and the count is 9.921k, and here you will see it male. So plotly plots are more interactive. When you touch it, you will get the exact figure as well. Here what I'm doing, I'm also adding age range is there. So when you use group by method, if there is more than one column that you are targeting to get your data, then you use square brackets for more than one column in group by method. So here I'm using age range, so it will take first according to the age range and then to the gender, and then it will count the transactions. If you check what you get in your age here, so here you got your age range here from 19 to 27, from 27 to 34, 34 to 41, and there are two columns for each age range because there is female and male, female and male, and the count, how many counts are there. And to visualize it, again, I'm using first SNS plot, and here, what's the difference? I'm using Seaborn plot with Matplotlib. So I'm using first, I'm giving it a size. I'm defining my figure size. Then I'm using SNS Seaborn plot method, and with Matplotlib, I'm giving it a title and then show. If you run it, so you will get each age range, and here you clearly can see that from age 41 to 48, mostly customers falls in this age range and they are having more transaction than any other. And here again, female are buying more than male. Only in age 60 to 70, you can say 62 to 70, more males are buying bikes, and even in 19, that is 20 to 27 age, more males are buying bikes, but rest you can see that females are more. Here the figure is almost same in 30 to 41 age, so that you can show with plotly method as well the same thing. But the difference is here I'm doing it in two bars, male and female, and here I give color in the age range. So here you can see this bar is too big, this is stacking is too big, so this is the stacking bar. Here you can see color age range. You can save the figures as well with save fig method. So I'm using plt.save. That is my seaborn and matplotlib plot to save the figure. So here you can see when you run it. Sorry, there is no folder. So when you run it, you can see that the figure is saved in the same folder. It will come in few minutes. And plotly plot you can save as HTML. So when you run it, again, I'm sorry for that. So here you can see that your JPG file has been created. So it is the plot that we created with Seaborn and Matplotlib. Now here, okay, because we didn't call plotly alone, so that's why it's giving this. If we import plotly only, and when we save it, that file is also saved as HTML, and it will come in few minutes here again. So now what I'm doing, I'm again grouping using group by method. So here what I'm doing, I'm checking the timeline according to the month. I want to check the profit, like in which month the company has more profit and in which month it's less. So now here you can see that HTML file has also been saved here. So if you run this, I'm not showing that timeline data frame here, but if you run and create a plot here, so for timeline we try to use line plot here. That's why I'm using line plot with plotly. As I told you, plotly has interactive visualization. So when you touch each point, it's giving you the exact figure how much it is coming. So here you can see I have on x-axis month and on y-axis it's the profit. So you can see in the month of October there is the highest profit company is making. So you can check that pattern according to the year as well if there is more data for year. But here we get only 2017 data. That's why I'm showing just 1 year figure. You can check also order. Here I'm merging, not merging, I'm using that file on the basis of month again. And here I'm checking online order. And why I'm using value count, because there are 2, 0 and 1. That means if there is online order or offline order. So now if you check it, I gave the color online order, so that means there will be 2 lines. So 1 is online order and 0 is offline order. So you can see there is 2 lines has been created. So this is the way you visualize your data. I hope this project helped you to understand how to proceed with your projects. First, you need to clean it, validate your data, check if there is any null value, duplicate value, irrelevant value, or inconsistency in the data. Then after making your data ready in the structured format, in a clean format, you go further to check if you want to manipulate it, if you want to add more columns, you want to extract a particular value from a column. After creating those new columns, you go further to analyze your data. So here, according your need, you show the result in the plots. You don't need to analyze each and everything. Check what you are doing, what is your key points you want to visualize, and then you show and analyze your data as plots in figures or in tables. I hope you like it. Please don't forget to press like button if you like this video, and also to subscribe it for further notification. If you have any query, any question, any doubt, please write me in the comment box and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Till then, keep practicing, keep learning, and keep your motivation high. See